The bread we're going to be making today is the kind of bread I grew up with in my country, Lithuania, and I've always loved it so much, but I obviously couldn't buy it anywhere in Spain, so I'm so happy to finally be able to make it myself at home. And trust me, when you start making your own bread, especially with your own starter at home, you're going to have such an amazing feeling of achievement. So I guess it's time to get started. For the bread, we're going to need 2 cups of whole grain white flour, 3/4 of a cup of water, half a cup of the starter, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of brown sugar, and you'll need half a cup of sunflower seeds or any other seeds that you like. My favorites are definitely sunflower seeds. You can also add 2 tablespoons of caraway seeds if you like that kind of stuff, but if you don't, then it's totally fine as well. We'll be making the bread in 2 steps. For step 1, you'll need to mix all the starter, half a cup of warm water, and 1 cup of flour. Now you can start by mixing the starter and water just to dissolve it, and then start adding the flour little by little and stir while you do it. Once you get a nice smooth mixture, something like the one you'd use for pancakes but like it's slightly thicker, just cover the bowl with a kitchen towel or something similar and leave it in room temperature for 12 to 16 hours. So usually prepare that in the evening and then I leave that overnight, and by the next morning it's going to be ready for step 2. In the morning is going to be time for step 2. So we need to add another cup of flour and 1/4 cup of water, and then the teaspoon of sugar and teaspoon of sea salt, and also your chosen seeds. So mix it all up, and you probably won't even need to knead anything by hand. It will be enough just to stir it, but it might be useful to get another person to hold the bowl for you because it's quite difficult to do it alone. Once you're happy with your dough and it looks nice and smooth, then it's time to grab your bread tin and prepare it by putting some butter or oil on the sides and on the bottom, and then sprinkling some flour to make sure that it doesn't stick. And then it's time to shape the bread. Just wet your hands, and that will prevent the bread from sticking too much to your hands, and then shape it lightly to a shape that will look a bit like a loaf of bread, and then put in the bread tin, cover it with the same kitchen towel, and leave it in a warm place in the kitchen for 2 to 3 hours just to let it rise once again. Rise sourdough will probably not rise too much. It's not like dough that's based on wheat flour, so it's not going to double or triple, but it will go up a bit. So once you see that it's ready, warm up the oven to 200 degrees, put the bread in and cook it for 45 to 55 minutes. It's always better to cook it a bit more than too little, and you will see that it's ready when the crust becomes nice and brown. Final tip to make sure that the crust doesn't get too hard, you'll need to wrap it in a damp towel and leave it until it cools down. The moisture in the towel will prevent the crust from becoming too hard. So the bread will be really nice and fresh for 2 or 3 days, and then on the 4th day it will start becoming slightly drier and not so nice when it's cold. So that's when I start warming it up. You could chuck it in the toaster, but I don't like using toasters. I'd rather use my hob. So I would generally just take a frying pan and a bit of butter, melt it, and then put some slices of bread on it and cover it with a lid and cook for around 4 or 5 minutes on medium fire. And I would generally turn the slices of bread midway, and that's it really. Your bread will be warm, moist, and as if it's just been cooked. And as I said at the beginning, this bread will stay fresh for a week easily. You don't have to refrigerate it, it will not catch any mold. So this is all I wanted to share with you about bread making. I hope you're going to give this bread a try, and if you do, please let me know, and I will be so happy if you upload a picture on Instagram and tag me, or send it to me on Facebook or Twitter. I would really love to know what your creations look like. Thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. I guess I'll see you in my next one, and happy bread making. Bye!